Welcome to the Country Hipster Podcast. My name is Paul. I am the Country Hipster. That music you just heard was none other than the Unholy Four from Charlottesville, Virginia, and their mega fucking hit song, Dirty Knife. Check them out on Spotify, Bandcamp. What?
It is a mega fucking hit
song, Dirty Knife. Check it out on Spotify, Bandcamp, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you can find the Unholy Four.
That was good. I like that.
You like that?
I don't know why it struck me so funny, just the way you said it, though.
Hey, man, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Podcast-specific promo code for the month of October on OttsvilleRecordGarage.com is Spooky. So if you put in Spooky when you check out at OttsvilleRecordGarage.com, you can save 15% off of your entire order. That is only good one per customer per month. But we do have another promo code every month where you can always save 10% at Ottsville Record Garage. Just basically whatever month you're in, type in the month. It's October. Put in October. If you already used the 15% and you want to buy something else, use October and save 10% off of your entire order at OttsvilleRecordGarage.com. Also, if you guys, we've mentioned it a few times now, we are a listener-supported podcast. So if you're listening on Spotify specifically, scroll down, click the link for listener support. Please donate money every month for us to listen and upgrade our equipment and buy beer and Adam cigarettes and, you know, and we'll go from there. Or
I was going to say, like, that, I think that's like that would be the best way to describe it, would just be like, buy us a beer.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So, and we'd like cheap beers. So you could subscribe at $1 a month and buy us a beer a month. We would be very happy with that. But hey, listen, times are sometimes tough for people. I've been there. If you don't have any money to subscribe, then maybe, you know, drop us a like, follow us, subscribe, rate us with a 5-star rating, and leave us a review. That also helps us as well and helps to reach the Country Hipster Podcast to more people out there. To my left is my co-host, Adam. He's back.
What's up, guys?
He is back in the Ottsville Record Garage. He is not my brother, Mike. He is my brother, Adam, the youngest of season 2. Adam did miss last week, as what happens. It happens sometimes. Shit happens.
Fucking work.
And, you know, that just to give you guys a heads up, that may happen a little bit more in season 2. There might be, you know, even like sometimes we want a specific guest who might normally be on, aka Tom or something like that.
No.
And it might not happen. So we might just keep moving along. The reason being, and this is also why season 1 became so fucking long. But the reason being is that I'm having a baby, if you didn't remember. And I promised my wife, Katie, that I would have this podcast this season fucking totally recorded before the baby comes. And so that is what my goal is. So the Country Hipster Podcast will not slow down for anyone or anything except my wife, Katie. If my wife, Katie, says, Paul, you need to slow down, well, then we'll slow down. But she's not going to say that. She wants this done as quickly as possible. So as you can see here, this episode is, we are going to be talking about Counting Crows, recovering the satellites. Let me go back and do Counting Crows, recovering the satellites is what we are talking about today here on the Ottsville Record Garage. In the Ottsville Record Garage on the Country Hipster Podcast.
I thought you were going to say on the OttsvilleRecordGarage.com.
Yeah, I almost did. Right. And we have our mystery beer brulette challenge here. So, okay, so I'll let you go first, but I'm going to sit here and tell you that, you know, as you can see, there are 2 beers here for Adam.
Yeah.
Right. And then he has the 1 beer for me, a very large beer. I'm very scared of that beer. So here's what happened. So I went into the store and I picked a beer. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I got like a mixed 6-pack and I put it part of that. And then as I was walking out, I saw another beer and I'm like, oh, fuck. So one of these beers would be totally fine for Adam to pick. One of them is, you know, it'd be like, cool. I did specifically pick that out. The other one is actually the one I want Adam to pick. So I'm going to let Adam pick one of these beers and do his brulette challenge.
So we're taking like our brulette challenge plus Bob's brulette challenge.
Kind of, yes. But it wasn't really, it just kind of happened. And I'm like, oh, no. Because either way, regardless of these 2 beers, I do have a special beer in the cooler for you for this episode as well.
Why am I getting so many special beers?
Just because I'm a nice guy. I missed you last week.
Am I dying?
You are. You're dying.
Oh, God.
So pick one of those. I know.
Right, so give me so you picked one, put it in a custom 6-pack, and on the way out you saw another one, and the one you saw on the way out is the one you were like, I want him to pick that one.
Yes, that's the one. I'm like, oh no, I want him to do this instead of the one that I picked specifically for the brulette challenge. But I'll let you pick whichever one.
All right, so just for the people at home, one of them has a silver tab, and one of them has a red tab.
One has a silver tab,
and
one has a red tab.
And one of them. One of them. Ooh, that's fucking interesting. I'm kind of going towards the red tab. I was going towards the red tab to begin with.
Okay.
But now I'm going towards it more because the top of the red tab has a design in it.
Yeah, it does.
Which is like, it's like very a la like a can of Red Bull.
Okay.
Except it's not a bowl. It looks like a crown.
So do you want that one?
Yeah, I'm going to go with
the red tab. Okay, cool.
Now, before I drink it, is that the one that you saw on the way out?
That is the one I saw on the way out.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
So yeah. All
right.
So Adam's going to open up his special beer here.
It's probably something Mexican.
You never know. It could be, it could not be. You don't know. It might be a little bit warm. It might not be as cold as I like it to be normally.
It's got a normal beer smell.
Normal beer smell.
Normal beer color.
Uh-huh.
Spilling it all over the fucking place.
Yeah, it's because of the tinfoil. Adam can actually pour a beer. It's just, it happens sometimes. Yeah, just use that. Yep. Because I don't know where the paper towels are. So
I thought that was, but it's a roll of bubble wrap.
No, it is because we like to put bubble wrap.
Very carbonated.
It is very carbonated.
Super carbonated.
Mm-hmm. It's very, very like light. And honestly, I'm going to tell you, it's not a cider, but it looks like.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this? At first I was like, this is a fucking cider.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a cider, but it is not a cider.
Doesn't smell like a cider.
No,
it smells like shitty Mexican beer.
Okay, it could be shitty Mexican beer. It could be not shitty Mexican beer. The important thing is whether or not you like it.
I mean, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay, it's just fine.
No, like I'm just trying to because it has a normal shitty beer look, smell, and it's got a very normal shitty beer taste to it. It's got a very when I say shitty, I don't mean bad. I just mean it's got a cheap beer look, smell, and taste to it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely looks like a cheap beer. Can I see this real quick? What is it? Oh yeah, no, it smells exactly like I thought it would. Yep, tastes exactly like I thought it would. Yep.
You've never had this before?
I've never had this before, but I saw it and I was like, I want to get this. Might be better if it was colder. Like I said, because it's not, it wasn't too long ago. I picked it up.
So that's the thing.
So I did throw it in the freezer.
It has a taste to it, it has a taste and a temperature currently to it, as if I went to a bar and they poured it.
Yeah.
Not super cold, but not room temperature. I mean, it's good.
You went to a shitty bar and got a shitty beer.
Exactly.
That's what it kind of came
it's
out.
not bad. I would drink this regularly.
Regularly? You would drink it regularly
because it's just not. It's just
it's awesome.
No, not that it's awesome.
It's awesome, but I mean, I'll drink PBR regularly. That's a shitty beer.
Well, that's what I mean. I would drink it regularly just because it's it's unoffensive. Okay. It's just it tastes like beer.
Interesting.
I'm scared.
Okay. No. I just never pictured you being a fan of this type of beer, even on a,
like I said, I don't know,
casual basis.
I wouldn't say I think fan is a strong word. It's just kind of like a non-offensive, nondescript beer.
Okay.
And cool. I'm kind of terrified to open it.
Go ahead, take a look. Take a look at what it is.
Yeah,
yeah,
that makes sense, dude. It fucking tastes like that. Kind of, it's a fucking Budweiser Select. It tastes like a shitty fucking beer.
Has 3.1 carbs.
Yeah, it's light. Is this like light Budweiser?
I guess I don't know, but it's like a. Oh yeah, I guess a flavor.
You know the fucking
lager.
I don't know why I didn't recognize that crown.
Yes,
that crown makes fucking complete sense.
That's where I thought you were gonna be like,
no, the crown. I saw the crown. I thought it was something Mexican.
Yeah, but no, it is Budweiser.
Yeah, if someone handed me this at a party or something, I'd be like, all right. Fine.
So I'll let you open this up too, so you can show our audience what it is. This is the one I grabbed as part of the 6 mix pack, which I really actually think you'll really enjoy.
Yeah.
And then as I was checking out, they actually had that on the counter. They sometimes they do this at the beer distributor that I go to a lot of times.
Is this what's it called?
Harrow's, Harrow's up the road from the Ottsville Record Garage. They have these dollar beers, so I guess it's they either have a case where some of it busted or whatever the deal is, or it's just the shitty beer that nobody's buying, so they just break it up. And I bought that for $1. I literally bought that for $1, no tax or anything. It was it's $1. I'm like, all right, cool, there you go. So
they're just take it, get it away from us.
Yep. So that's why it wasn't quite as cold as I would have liked to have served it to you, like how this one is. But
honestly, this knowing what it is now, this is probably the perfect temperature to drink.
Okay, all right.
It's not. You can only put so much lipstick on a pig.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
You can make it as cold as you fucking want. It's not going to make it better. But it's not terrible.
Yes.
Like it's a shitty light beer, and like shitty light beers are,
Yeah.
sometimes they're the staple. They're the go-to.
There you go. So pop this guy open. Open up the foil there. So,
oh, I thought you meant like
yeah,
open
no.
it.
I
Okay.
just say just so you can see, and then maybe that could be your next beer, that you drink there, which I thought would be interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Stone. I don't think I've ever had this one. What Paul grabbed was Stone's Tangerine Express Hazy IPA.
Yes.
I've had a bunch of Stone. Stone's really good out of California. I think Stone is.
I think so. Yeah.
I
thought the mix was neat. I think it's a pineapple hazy with like a other citrus in there as well. I believe, right? Or no? Am I?
Tangerine and pineapple.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that seems interesting. Let me see how Adam feels about that. So that is the one I put into the mix 6, and and then ended up seeing the Budweiser, and I was like, God, I hope he picks the Budweiser.
Oh,
what?
Oh wait, no, yeah. So it says, brewed and canned by Stone Brewing, Escondido, California, and Richmond, Virginia.
There you go. So they probably have two plants there. So
I do like. I have had a bunch of Stone. One of the what's the name of that one beer Stone does?
I don't know. It is Tangerine Express Hazy IPA.
No, is it Arrogant Bastard?
Oh, do they do Arrogant Bastard?
I'm pretty sure Stone does Arrogant Bastard.
I could be wrong. I'm going to put this in here so it stays cool. So, but no, you should drink that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to look it up now, but I'm pretty sure Stone does Arrogant Bastard.
And I am scared of this monstrosity. Oh man! All right, so this is a one of those very large beers. So what I can do is I can see the rim of the can and it's red, and that is actually what has me scared, because I know I've seen some of these like bigger can beers in the cooler at the store, and like that could be a Clamato, that could be a Chelada, that could be also some crazy imperial IPA that comes in a large can. So I'm not looking forward to this. I'm actually a little apprehensive about what I'm doing here.
Mm-hmm. Should be.
I should be?
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right.
And it's kind of terrifying about this Budweiser shit. This is like, I just looked at it, I'm like, oh shit, I've drank a lot of this.
All right. So we're just going to, this is an interesting color.
Yeah, it is.
This kind of looks the color of the, similar to the mango chelada that you had a couple weeks ago.
No, I feel like the mango chelada was more of like it was more of like a very unnatural color. Like that looks like grapefruit.
This does not look natural either.
Can I smell it?
Yeah, I haven't smelled it yet. I'm really afraid of this because it doesn't have any head on it either.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
it actually smells nice.
Has no head on it, so that's not bad. That doesn't have a bad odor to it, or aroma, I believe is the actual. Oh man,
like that color. It looks horrible. It kind of looks like it looks like a cross between like grapefruit juice or like apple cider. It's the chickens.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was my daughter. Sorry, we just had some background noise. That's not some crazy cicada or rattlesnake. It was like I was like, what the fuck is that? But it's Tim Curry, my rooster. So all right, so it is carbonated. You can see it coming down. It's kind of like a cloudy, like almost looks like an iced tea-ish type of thing. like a so I'm going to guess that this is some sort of like spiked something or other, knowing Adam and fucking bringing me to Baja Blast, hard Baja Blast. I know it's nothing like that, but I'm going to say it's probably some, just looking at it, I'm saying it's some sort of like seltzer, or not seltzer. I don't think it's seltzer, but like some sort of like Mike's something or other spiked, iced tea, or like an Arnold Palmer or something along those lines. This is not a normal beer. I can tell you that much just from looking at it. This is not a normal beer. Even by the aroma there, it's not a normal beer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. Oh my God, hold on. I got to do this again because I got to try to fucking pinpoint what this disgusting shit is.
I got to fucking try it now.
That is...
Let me try.
That is salty. That is not sweet. That is see, oh my God.
Oh, what the fuck?
This is so bad. This is.
Oh man, I feel bad now. Oh. I got it to be a dick, but
no, you're being a dick.
I didn't realize it was going to be that much of a dick.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus, that is so bad. So I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna reveal what this is. And this is what is this?
I have no fucking clue. It's in Spanish.
Oh God,
it's in Spanish. I don't know.
A Vicky Chamoy. This is in Spanish. So I'm going to say this is some sort of a chelada as well.
Yeah, I
oh God,
I saw it and I'm like, I can't go.
Day 18. It's from Victoria, so it is a Mexican beer. Yeah, this has got this. I'm going to guess has like, this has peppers. This has agave. This has tomato in it. Oh my God, this is so bad. Contains alcohol. You think so? It's 3.5% alcohol. It's imported by Crown Imports in Chicago. This is
payback for all the
that's
enchiladas.
fine. That's fine. I understand. This is
see, this is what we call revenge ball, and it's a dish best served cold.
This is a Modelo beer.
Yeah, Victoria.
Yeah, but it's it does. It has certified colors. That's great.
Ooh, certified colors.
Certified colors. It does not tell me what this is, but if I'm guessing by the can, which is actually kind of a cool label on the can there. It's got I believe that's like a grapefruit, and it's got some fucking hot peppers there. And
where do you see a grapefruit?
Isn't that a grapefruit?
Grapefruits, I don't think have.
They grow on trees.
Yeah,
so
no,
I'm
but
sure they have a little leaf.
Do they have leaves like that?
Well, probably when you cut them down at first. I mean, they're not everything's in a store. It doesn't grow like it shows in the store.
It would make sense. It would make sense that it if it was grapefruit, because I said it resembles grapefruit juice, like dark grapefruit juice.
Yeah,
that's rough, dude. I saw it and I was like, I want to get him something fucked up.
I'm immediately switching to my Genesee Specially Honey Brown.
Jenny?
Jenny. It's part of my.
They do a honey brown?
Yeah, they do. I don't remember if I've had it before, but I'm immediately switching to that.
Yeah,
because oh my God, that is so bad.
It's called payback, motherfucker.
That is payback.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's horrible. Hold on. Yeah, that's much better. Still not great, but it's much better. Oh God! All right.
Can I tell you? I almost at the store. I was looking, and I almost just to be an asshole, almost bought you a non-alcoholic Guinness.
That would have been funny. That would have been pretty funny. That would have been actually very funny. So that's our Brulette challenge for this week. Adam got a Budweiser that wasn't half bad, and I got this thing, which was absolutely God, disgusting. I'm looking at it, and it's making me gag.
Yeah.
So all right, so. Our Brulette challenge is done. Go check out my boy Mike V's beers on
Paul. I finished my Brulette challenge. Yeah. How come you didn't finish yours?
Because it's absolutely fucking disgusting.
I'm gonna break out this other.
Like I said, there's another special beer in there for you too.
I'm gonna break out this. I'm gonna break out this stone.
Cool.
What's going on with this?
There you go. So this is we are here to talk about Counting Crows Recovering the Satellites. This is the second studio album by the American rock band Counting Crows, and was released on October 15th, 1996.
For all the viewers at home watching right now, I just want to point out that I'm pouring a beer and didn't spill a single bit.
There you
it's
go.
Not wrapped in tinfoil.
There you go. Told you Adam could pour beers. So I just realized my oldest was almost 6 months old when this album came out. Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say the year this album came out?
This album came out. It was released on October 15th, 1996.
That late? Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I didn't expect that.
This was released 3 years after their debut album, August and everything.
Hand me that monstrosity.
There you go. It was released 3 years after their debut album, August and everything after. They spent 2 years touring worldwide to support that album, which is why it took 3 years for this album to come out. As with August and everything after, they rented out a large house to record this album and use the natural acoustics of the space to create the unique sound in which the album comes out as.
It's very When the Levee Breaks of them.
Yes, it is. Oh, that's very nice. That's smooth. That's very nice. Yeah. Nice hazy there.
There's a good things with like IPAs with citrus lend very well to I'm gonna have to sit on a beach all day type.
Yep.
There's one that's really good from I think it's from Conshohocken Brewery.
Okay.
Called Blood Money. It's an IPA with blood orange in it, and it's it's a very good sit on the beach and drink kind of beer. And that's what the vibe I get from this.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I'm glad I picked that too.
Yeah.
All right, so this album received mixed reviews, with some praising the album. The writer for Rolling Stone gave it actually 4 out of 5 stars, and some highly criticizing it, calling it bland. What they all agreed on is that this album was very self-involved and somewhat pretentious. That is something that even the good reviews, they kind of said that.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. In the US, this hit number 1 on the Billboard 200 and 35 on the year-end charts for 1997. Even though it was released in 96, it was late 96, so it couldn't hit the year-end charts for that. But it did hit the year-end charts for 1997 and topped out at 35. It charted top 40 almost everywhere else and hit number 4 everywhere else in the world. And hit number 4 in the UK, where it was certified gold, selling over 100,000 units. That's as of 2019. And 2 times platinum, over 2 million units sold in the US.
Oh, wow.
Again, as of that information is as of 2019. There were 3 singles off this album. Angels of the Silences, which hit number 4 on the Billboard mainstream. A Long December, which hit number 9 on the Billboard mainstream. I'll get into that in a second. And Daylight Fading, which hit number 24 on the Billboard mainstream. Back to A Long December, the video of that featured then very famous Courtney Cox from the show Friends, who he dated in 1997. But he made his way around the set. She was actually number 2 of the friends that he had because he dated Jennifer Aniston in 1995.
Are you speaking of Courtney Cox of the Dancing in the Dark fame?
Yes, of Dancing in the Dark fame.
She's just a music video whore.
Yes. Also in A Long December, in the lyrics, they mentions rode up to Hillside Manor sometime after 2 a.m. Hillside Manor is actually is a reference to Johnny Depp's mansion in Hidden Hills, California, which is called Hillside Manor. So there you go. Those are the basic factoids of this album, and a little bit of A Long December. So I'm just gonna say real quick, I love this album. Before I get into anything else, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this album.
So this was an interesting one for me.
Okay.
I was so fucking bummed. First time I fucking listened to this album.
Really?
Because I thought to myself, man, I don't like this at all. And I was like, but now I'm gonna have to fucking like make sure I have interesting shit to say about it, so Paul doesn't think I'm fucking phoning it in just because I don't like one of his albums.
No. See, I'm okay with you if you didn't like it. That's okay. Just just your opinions on the REM were just fucking like, what? Did you even listen to it?
No. Trust me, I fucking begrudgingly listened to that fucking album. Which is how I felt about this. I listened to it the first time, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, now I gotta fucking listen to this goddamn album all fucking week. My first listen through, I had I'll call it a top 1.5.
Okay.
Mainly because I knew one of the songs on the album, so I was considering that the half.
Mm-hmm.
Right now in my notes, I have a top 3 and an honorable mention.
Okay.
This is a Fungus album for me.
Yeah. Okay.
This album became a Fungus album because I'm sitting there.
This is a Fungus band for me, just so you know. But go on.
Yeah. I remember you talking about how you didn't like the first album, but then you was this their
second.
But you said you didn't like the first, but then you like this album, which was the second, and then you kind of went back to the first.
I'm gonna get into
You'll get
that, but
yeah,
I'll get in it.
Yeah. But yeah, this is definitely a Fungus album for me. Like I said, I started off not liking this and thinking it was gonna be a fucking chore to listen to. And by the end of the week listening to it, I actually it's definitely grown on me. So
nice.
Given more time, I think this album would be, is just going to get better and better for me. But it was a pain in the ass to listen to at first and became a pleasure to listen to.
Nice.
So that being said, like, I don't know if I'm going to give this the more time that it needs to become that, like, that album for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely enjoyed it. It was kind of funny. Like, I think I've talked about before, what I like to do is I like to save my making my top 3 in my bottom list for the drive up to Paul's. I listened to the album for a last time, and that's when I decide my top 3 and bottom 1. And driving over here today, I was thinking, like, man, this is fucking, like, it's crazy that, like, I fucking hated this album like 4 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, I'm not minding it at all. Like before, it fit very much into the fucking REM world, where it was like, if this was on, I'm hoping like I'm doing something so I can just, it's just background noise. Cause it's just, I was for a moment, I was thinking like, I don't think I'm smart enough to get Counting Crows.
Okay.
Like you said, like it seems very,
a little pretentious,
very pretentious. And like, I'm like, I don't know if I'm smart enough to get what they're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the songs sound like they'd work better as just like written poetry instead of song.
That's kind of what they are too.
Yeah.
It's kind of, that is definitely, I would definitely go as far as to say that's very much his style of writing music and lyrics. That it's it's poppy, it's rocky, but it's very folky as well.
It's very unorthodox.
Yes,
I would say.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm like fucking sweating, so I'm taking this flannel off.
Oh, okay.
Right, ladies.
Hey, Adam's taking that off. He's taking it off. Take it off, Adam.
I actually almost texted you on my way up here. I'm like, hey man, just so you know, I'm wearing my nog shirt. Can you not fucking be wearing yours as well? But yeah, like I'm thinking about this. Like it almost seems like he tried, like he wrote a bunch of shit. What's his name?
Adam Duritz. I never get it right. There's no W in there, but it's like Duritz or something like Druitz. So I never say it right. Listening. His first name's Adam.
Yeah.
He's got dreads.
Yeah. Listening. He has a fucking octopus on this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Listening to this album, I'm thinking like, it almost sounds like he was like, man, I'm just going to grow up and I'm going to become a fucking slam poet.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then he was like, oh, there's no money in that. And then he was like, I need someone who can play. I need a backing band.
Yes. No, he is actually a very talented musician as well. I believe he writes a lot of the music for the Counting Crows in general. So.
But like I said, yeah, it seems very. It seems like I would go to a fucking. It reminds me of Sorry Married an Axe Murderer. Like I imagine going to like a weird like hipster bar. And
okay.
There's just like fucking candles and dudes wearing berets, and he's just up on the fucking stage, fucking just saying.
Betty.
Yes.
Wilma.
Spoken word bullshit. Just like, she was a thief.
Yes.
You got to believe she stole my heart and my cat. I fucking love that movie.
That is a good movie. I haven't seen that movie in a while.
But yeah, it like I said, I did not like this album a week ago. Okay. And it's growing to, nice. It went from like a complete fucking hard dislike to a, soft indifferent to a solid indifferent to a maybe I could fucking chill to this, like, but yeah I'm
nice.
I was pissed that you made me listen to this, and now I'm kind of happy you made me listen.
Cool.
To it,
so. Good. So as you were alluding to, so here's my story about Counting Crows. Like we've often said on the podcast that your first exposure to a band is usually your favorite your favorite idea version of the band. Thank you. So my first exposure to the Counting Crows
is exposure, you say? Yes. Your first exposure?
My first exposure. No, my first exposure, because I burped. My first exposure to the Counting Crows is Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
August and everything after. And I fucking hate that song.
You hate Mr. Jones?
I hate Mr. Jones. And like, Around Here was okay, but I was just like, this fucking album, so I'm not giving these motherfuckers the time of day. Fuck the Counting Crows. Plus it was also that time. So that came out in like 93. So it was also that time where you had that like, Nirvana was becoming a thing, Pearl Jam and all that, but you had like the beginning of that like fucking bubblegum fucking alt rock shit that I wasn't Jim Blossoms and Goo Goo Dolls and Counting Crows I put into that same thing, Third Eye Blind and and it's like I don't like this, I don't like this music. So that's what like the first album kind of like hit me as. I'm like, fuck this noise, like I don't even like this. So then fast forward to I hear on the radio fucking Angels in the Silences and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is this? I'm like, this sounds fucking good, man. This shit's good. And
is it a spoiler alert for a future segment?
No. And well, maybe, but whatever. But it, like, yeah, I have to because that's the thing. And it goes through, and the guy on the radio is like, that is the new one by the Counting Crows. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's that by?
You've actually, now that I think about it, you've told a few stories where you're like, I don't fucking like this, and then you hear a song and you're like,
yeah,
like that, like it's very much like your Monkey Wrench.
Yeah, Monkey
It's
Wrench.
very much like
it was very much like Monkey Wrench. Absolutely, because it was like that. I'm like, what the fuck? This fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So, but like, like that was the other. But like when I hear this, I'm like, god damn, that's actually a pretty good song. And I was just like, well, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then, you know. And the more I heard it, I'm like, damn, that's pretty good. And then The Long December came out, and I'm like, man, this song's pretty fucking good too. I'm like, fuck me. And so I get talking to this guy who I worked with, this guy Frank, was working in retail at the time. And The Long December came on, and I'm just like, man, I'm really kind of liking like the stuff I've heard off of this album so far. I can't fucking stand that August and Everything After. He's like, you what? It's like, what the fuck you mean you don't like August and Everything? I was like, it's so bad, Mr. Jones. He's like, did you actually listen to the whole album? I'm like, no, because it sucks. No. He's like, all right, you're going to listen to the whole fucking album. Yeah. And so he brought it in and he put on August and Everything After and kept playing it and playing it. And unlike...
Kept playing it and playing it, just fucking beating
he's like,
it into your fucking brain.
You're gonna fucking like this. But no, and he kept playing it and it went back and it was very much like, so, and you mentioned the Monkey Wrench, right? Like I like Monkey Wrench. I ended up loving the Foo Fighters from that point on, loved that album, went back and listened to the first Foo Fighters album because I thought maybe I didn't give it a fair shot, and I still fucking hate the first Foo Fighters album. This though, he played it. I'm like, oh fuck, no. This is actually a much better album than I thought it was. I didn't give it a chance. Mr. Jones is not that album. Do you know what I mean? Like, Mr. Jones is not indicative of that album.
Now that I'm thinking about it, because you said Round Here was the other big hit off that album. Now that I'm thinking about it, I would say I prefer Round Here over Mr. Jones.
Yes, well, so that's one of the things that I'll get into in a few minutes as well about the singles that they released. But yeah, so I had to kind of like remove myself from Mr. Jones and listen to the rest of that album, and I really like that album. And the guy I worked with,
myself from Mr. Jones is the name of my punk band's new album.
There you go. I actually like that too. Remove myself from Mr. Jones. I actually might make that into a song. I might write a song and call it that. That's pretty good. But at any rate, I listened to it. So then that Christmas, the guy who I worked with actually bought me on CD at the time. He bought me the what's that?
Gross.
Yes, he bought me August and Everything After, as well as Recovering the Satellites.
Oh, nice.
And I was listening, I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking good. This is so good. And especially this album here, Recovering the Satellites, I've actually listened to this album so much, and I haven't listened to it in a while. And what I realized this week is that I listened to this album so much and actually like this album so much, I actually know every fucking word of every song. Not even like consciously. Like if you asked me to do it right now, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But as I'm sitting there listening to it in the car driving, I'm realizing I'm singing every single fucking line.
There's a lot of shit like that for me where like I will excuse me, you could play the song in the car for me and I could sing it word for word just off the top of my head.
Yep.
But for instance, like I was playing guitar earlier today, and it was actually the song I was playing was the first song I learned how to play after I bought an acoustic guitar.
Okay.
And I had played this song to fucking death because it was like I said, first thing I learned to play once I picked up an acoustic. And I was playing it today, and it's probably been a couple years since I've played it.
Right. And
I could not remember it for the fucking life of me. But it's that idea is interesting where like it's almost like I was talking about that song where I used to sing Haley, friend of the podcast Haley, to sleep because I knew every fucking word of the song.
Okay.
It's very interesting. Like that's an interesting concept of like songs that you like, things that you just happen to know all of the words to, but like you couldn't recall them without that refresher.
Right. Exactly.
It's interesting.
Yep.
From a psychological standpoint.
Mm-hmm. So this album definitely. What am I grabbing? This is the one I wanted to grab. I don't know what this is.
Oh, I've had that before.
Oh, okay. I just saw it. I thought it was neat.
It's Indian?
Kingfisher
Asian?
Premium
it's
Lager
Asian.
beer.
It's
Is it Asian?
Yeah, I've had it before.
Okay, it's of Asian descent.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's India.
Yeah.
Bangalore.
Yeah.
Bangalore. Bangalore. I don't know. So there you go. I saw it and I thought like, oh, there's a cute little birdie on it. So I'm gonna get that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm drinking a Kingfisher here. But no, this album is definitely like.
Just so you're aware, that cute little birdie is a Kingfisher.
There you go.
That's the name
there you go. Go figure. So this album is definitely one of my favorite albums. It did not make it on the season one. One of the reasons it didn't make it on the season one was because I actually went back and forth between August and Everything After and this one. So I went back and forth between those two albums of what to put on season one. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to put either one. And I actually thought about doing both of them on season two until we changed the formats so that we have like, you know, since we each have like less albums, and it's a shorter season, I decided like I'm not going to do August because that is not my favorite one. This is my favorite Counting Crows album. It's in my opinion, it's the best Counting Crows album. I did lose interest on and after Hard Candy when that album, which I think is their fourth album. Their next album after this is pretty good. I actually consider that their second best album, with August and Everything After being their third best album. But that's an album that has really grown on me.
What's the album that has that one song from the one Shrek movie in it?
So that is actually not an album. That is a single they released.
That's just a single.
That's just a single. Yeah, they had a couple things like that.
That song seems very out of place for Counting Crows.
Yeah, it's really not. It's actually not. It is very poppy. It's
Accidentally in Love.
Accidentally
is the name of the song we're talking about. Have you ever seen the video? It's fucking strange. It's like a. It looks like the Nesquik Rabbits like punk older brother, like. Not fucking some chick, but like he's like hanging out with some chick, and it's weird.
All right. So this Desert Life is the album that came out after Recovering the Satellites, which I think is the second best album by the Counting Crows, with then followed by August and Everything After, and then everything else, like once Hard Candy and everything else, like whatever. But so back to Accidentally in Love. So that was specifically written and released. I don't know if it was written for, but it was released for the Shrek 2 soundtrack.
Yeah.
Shrek 2 on DVD. And then, but as you say, it seems like an off one. But if you go back and you look at the early, oh shit! Whoa! If you look at the early Counting Crows,
God,
that was horrible.
And that was loud. I'm sorry. I apologize, everybody home.
So if you go back and you look at August and Everything After, there was actually a song that came out, and this one, when I heard the song, I was like, oh, this song's not bad. Is this on August and Everything After? And then I found that it wasn't, which is called Einstein on a Beach. Which is
sounds like a drink.
It does, but that's a song where they had recorded it. They didn't put it on August and Everything After, but it was on a compilation, like of a Geffen Records compilation, which is their record label at the time, which I think Geffen was absorbed by Universal, or it was always part of Universal. But at any rate, it was a Geffen Records compilation, which that came out on, and Einstein on the Beach is a pretty good song. It's very, very much bridges the gap between August and then Recovering the Satellites. So it's not that much of a offshot with Accidentally in Love. It's actually a very similar, type of feel to the song. But so that is in my opinion. But back to what I was saying earlier, I've always felt that Counting Crows in general releases the worst songs as their singles, with the exception of Angels of the Silences. Because when you look at like Mr. Jones, it's blah and it's overplayed. And that was the first single off of August and Everything After. Angels of the Silences was the release off of this album, which I was like, fuck yeah. And it also charted the highest of the three songs that were released. Hanging Around was this first song. It's the lead track, and it's the song they released off of This Desert Life, which almost turned me off to the album. But then I remembered how much I liked this album, Recovering the Satellites. So I gave it a shot, and I'm like, okay, cool. We got to fucking remove Hanging Around. Hanging Around.
Oh, okay.
This time.
I would say like
it's horrible.
I'm like, I know I fucking heard that song, but in my head, it was like that. If it's playing, I could fucking know it, but I can't recall it off the top of my head.
No, and it was just so bad, and it was just like, oh god, this is just not good. And almost had me not listen to the album, but I was like, no, I know what just happened here. Let me fucking listen to the rest of the album. And this Desert Life, with the exception of Hanging Around, is a much, much better album than August and Everything After. And August and Everything After is a great album too. And then with Hard Candy, the lead song on that was American Girls, which is just like the rest of the album, like it's just a song. It's not really that good, and the rest of the album is not even as good as that song.
Do I know American?
Probably not. It's just not. It's not good. It's just But that's the point where I kind of just lost like track of the Counting Crows at that point. So so that's kind of my feelings on the Counting Crows. But this album in general, man, it's just so fucking good. The songs are good, so well written. The lyrics are deep. He's talking about Jennifer Aniston in one song, and he's talking about Courtney Cox in another song, and whoever else, he's like the Taylor Swift of like the singers. He's like gone through all of them and written songs about them.
And another one.
Yeah, exactly. He's got, Matt LeBlanc, he's probably talking, so that's, and I've also kind of identified with the with the Counting Crows in the sense that I know he writes a lot of his music between breakups. Like a lot of his stuff ends up being like stuff that's made him sad or angry, and it's easy to do that.
You've said on the podcast that you haven't written anything for Birmingham 6 because you're not angry about anything.
Exactly.
So
I'm not angry. I'm not sad. It's like, hey, what am I
understand that sentiment of like, I believe, I can't remember who the quote is from, but I remember hearing someone say the quote, something along the lines of like, if making art doesn't make you want to kill yourself, you're doing something wrong, or something along those lines. Like, if you're not writing about the things that hurt or make you sad or something like that, like it's not good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's there for, is like almost like a therapy type thing. So I can understand that, like, you know, breaking up with Jennifer Aniston and writing a song about it.
Yeah.
Like, I personally don't find Jennifer Aniston that attractive, but
really,
yeah, she never did it for me.
Really,
yeah, I don't know why she doesn't do it for me. All right. Everyone talks about Jennifer Aniston like she's fucking God's gift to Earth, and I'm like,
no, she always, you know, here's the thing, like so Jennifer Aniston to me is like, she's a girl you marry, she's a girl you bring home to mom. And that, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, she's, you know what I mean? She's beautiful. She seems funny. She seems nice. Never met her in person. Couldn't tell you, you know what I mean? But like, that's like, you know, and then when you look at her, you're like, that's a girl where your mom be like, you should date that girl. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, let me tell you about my son. Like, that's the girl that your mom's talking to. You know what I mean? That's the thing I like about Jennifer Aniston. And I'm sorry, the older she gets, she still looks fucking smoking.
No, I will say that she's still like, I understand why people find her attractive. I mean, I will say, like, as she gets older, she's aging like wine.
Yes.
But for some reason, she never did it for me.
Yeah. I gotta text my friend. Unfortunately,
my brother doesn't find Jennifer Aniston attractive. It'd be weird if that's the conversation you're having with your fucking friends. So Paul, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You like this album? You love this album?
Yes, love this album. I think Love's actually pretty. You know, this is probably one that even, I know it didn't make it on season 1. I probably would put this album as a top 10 for me. Yeah, like an all-time top 10 album. Yeah. You
know. So you love this album. This album has potential to grow on me if I give it that chance. Mm-hmm. But you know, I've been hurt before.
Yes, I know. But sometimes when you're hurt, you can go back to what hurt you.
Exactly.
And you can make it better. You know what I mean? You can get it back and like kind of like August and everything after, it hurt me. I didn't like it. No. It's like, oh, you hurt me. You did me dirty. You dirty bitch. And then I
really hope everyone is Kristen. I want you to turn off whatever fucking you're listening to this on right now and watch it, because the face Paul just made, you dirty bitch, just it touched my heart.
But then I met Recovering the Satellites, and then I could go back and I could reconcile with August and everything after, which I think this is what this album will do for you. I think, you know, you could do that. You can, you know, you'll be able to grow. You'll be, you know what I mean? So,
but we digress.
Yes, we digress.
You like this album. This album grows on me.
Mm-hmm.
How does that sweet baby angel upstairs feel about this album?
So the first time she listened to it, I could definitely tell she was unsure.
Okay. Very much like me.
Yes, very much like you. And she just kind of had her look. She was like, I don't know about this. But like, she definitely didn't hate it at first. It was just kind of like,
Did you show her a picture of the lead singer? Because I feel like if you showed her a picture of the lead singer's crazy fucking hair and then had the music playing, she'd be like,
No, she would, if she saw the singer, you know, she saw his hair, she'd probably start singing the, you know, Albert the Octopus song, or Oliver the Octopus, whatever it is. She'd probably sing some Octopus song there. But, so.
Octopus's Garden.
Yes, Octopus, yeah. But the second time she listened to it, there was a lot of singing and kicking the feet and all that. So it definitely was a solid like on the Regina factor.
So I don't know if we've ever noticed this before. Has there ever been, thinking back, so it kind of sounds like it was also a Fungus album for Regina.
Yeah.
Can you think of any albums that we've covered that have been a Fungus album for her?
Yeah, because sometimes what'll happen is like, because of like when we're doing it, she might be too tired to listen to it. So there are times where like,
she's a baby.
Yeah, you can't always go by the first reaction. You know what I mean? Especially if unless it's like an very obvious negative reaction. You know, I even like Of Mice and Men, she had a very obvious negative, anxious reaction to that. So I'm like, okay, no, you definitely hate this.
Which is very understandable.
Yeah.
with what it was.
Yeah, so sometimes she's had more indifferent or laid back reactions at first, and they've either turned into likes or dislikes. So, like, perfect example was Sunny Day Real Estate. She was indifferent at first.
Speaking of Sunny,
speaking of Sunny Day Real Estate,
I feel like this is like the third or fourth time you've worn this.
It might be. I like this shirt. Yeah. So she was a bit indifferent towards liking it, and then I realized, like, after listening to it, I'm like, no, she actually is not enjoying this. It was more indifferent towards a dislike, so it became a dislike. So, but like, definitely it was more of an indifferent at first, and she had to listen to it a few times. But this one definitely first time was just, it wasn't even a bad indifferent. It was just kind of like very much inquisitive, like, what am I listening to here? Do I like this? I don't think I hate it, but I don't know if I love it. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it was going. And then
from what it sounds like Regina and I had like exact feelings about this album, because like I was listening to it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm fucking smart enough to get this. Like, I don't know if I get what he's trying to do here. Yeah, but it sounds like she had the same feeling.
Yeah, then the second time, she was into it. She was, you know what I mean? So that brings on the Regina factor. That brings me to 4 likes, 1 dislike, and an indifferent. Adam is at 5 likes, 1 dislike, and nothing. No, I think I just jumped episodes. But at any rate, 5 likes and 1 dislike.
We'll tell you about that.
Yeah, we'll tell you about that later.
Before you go any further, what's the special beer in here that you want me to have? Oh, I think I've had this.
You have. You've talked about it several times on the podcast.
Paul just gave me a banana bread beer.
Yeah,
that is. I like this little chart they have here.
That almost ended up being your mystery beer, but then I saw.
Oh no, I don't think I've had this.
I know you've mentioned a banana bread.
Yeah, I've had a banana bread.
Okay, all right, maybe it's not.
But I don't think it's this one.
I don't know, but there you go. That's what I got you. There you go.
It's good.
See?
Ooh, we're foaming.
Yeah, it's foaming. See, I take care of you. I'm nice to you sometimes.
I take care of you, baby.
When you actually listen to the albums and have real opinions about them, I get you nice beers.
I take care of you, baby.
So that is Tom at 1 like, and the listeners at 1 like, 1 dislike, and 1 indifferent. All right, so you said you found a top 3 and an honorable mention. So let's hear them, sir.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah, it's good. Ooh, that smells just like fucking banana bread.
It's enjoyable as fuck.
Mm-hmm. That's like drinking a slice of banana bread. So that's pretty nice.
The one that I've had before, I don't believe it's this, because this is
okay.
I don't know Eagle Brewery at all. The one that I've had, I believe, is from England.
Okay.
And you know how like your mouth gets like that dry sensation when you have a piece of like white bread?
Uh-huh.
That's the sensation you get from this one from England. This has all that flavor and deliciousness of banana bread, but doesn't give you that dry mouthfeel.
Okay.
This is fucking good. Thank you.
No problem.
So top 3. Well, I said I started off with a top 1.5. The half being Long December, because I knew Long December, and I've enjoyed that song.
Okay.
The one was Angels of the Silence.
Mm-hmm.
I remember putting the album on, and I remember listening to it, and like, I don't know, like first song, like this is, you know,
Catapult. Okay.
Catapult's whatever.
See, I think Catapult's a great way to start the album.
Yeah,
too. It's a little slow, it's a little jammy, but like I like. But
you also have to remember, like that first time listening through.
Yes.
I was like, meh.
Right.
But then Angels of the Silence came out. I'm like, oh, I'm like this, almost like how it reminded me of Joshua Tree. How my favorite top 3 off Joshua Tree were songs to me that didn't sound like U2.
Okay.
Angels of the Silence doesn't sound like in my head what I think of Counting Crows.
Which I think is what turned me on to when hearing that song the first time. That's probably what turned me on to, is like the fact that it didn't sound like Counting Crows. It was so different from the first album, and it was just like, oh fuck, and this drives and this rocks and the fucking words are good, and this is like, listen to that like guitar part, like and it's like fucking, this is good. You know what I mean? And I think I get that. Definitely did not remind me of a Counting Crows song.
Yeah. So I have Angels of the Silence, I have Long December, I have Goodnight Elizabeth.
Okay.
And then as my honorable mention, I have You Seen Me Lately?
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I went from having a one song that stood out from the crowd with a song that I already knew to having 3 with an honorable mention. It's kind of crazy to me.
Nice. So we're actually not far off at all from each other. So number one, hands down, one of my all-time favorite songs, and really the song that turned me on to Counting Crows was Angels of the Silences. Yeah. Definitely would go, as I've said, I've had certain songs where I would consider these are like all-time favorite songs. Angels of the Silences would jump into that category as well. My number two, Goodnight Elizabeth.
No.
Fucking good, solid, fucking slow jam, and it's like good. My number three is Walkaways, which is the last song on the album, because it's just such a good way, in my opinion, to just wind down the album. Yeah. And it's just like there's a lot of good songs, like, you know, between the first and the last, but like that one, it's just like, it's almost like it's like a PS.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like not to sound like a, you know, it is fall. So not to sound like, you know, a basic white bitch. It's a PS I love you is what Walkaways is. And I think that's one of the things I like about that song so much, and where they put it on the album, and it's a good song. And then my honorable mention, Have You Seen Me Lately?
Yeah.
So that is my honorable mention there. Least favorite was difficult for me. And I actually had to go through again and be like, oh, is it this? Is it this? Nope. You know what I mean? And I kind of like jumped around. But I ultimately settled on Miller's Angels.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I have a slash.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to call it a dishonorable mention, because I don't know if I dislike one more than the other, but I dislike two songs on this album. Miller's Angels being one of them, Monkey being the other.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I like Monkey.
Monkey struck me. Monkey was weird because like Monkey struck me as like it seems like too much of an inside joke. You know?
Okay, I'll give you that. Yes, and that's probably where the self-indulgent pretentiousness of the critics.
It seems like an inside joke that I'm not aware of, so I'm not going to get it.
Yeah.
That's what I get from Monkey, and that's why I can't appreciate it.
I get that. See, I do enjoy Monkey. I mean, it's not a top three.
From all I know, like, it's just some cute fucking nickname he had with Jennifer Aniston. But it's just...
Well, it was Courtney Cox at this point. Let's not...
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Courtney Cox. Side 2 was Courtney Cox. Side A was...
Or, something like that.
So it just seems like if I'm maybe if I knew the backstory, maybe if I was privy to the relationship or whatever like that, that I would appreciate the song more. But like when he fucking says it, I'm like, I want to fucking punch you right in the fucking dreadlocks.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't completely disagree with you on it. You know what I mean? But it definitely doesn't hit the bottom. I did have something that I would have considered almost a dishonorable mention, but I was like, nah, I still kind of like it. So I didn't even put it. I don't even remember what it is at this point. No. So, Adam, could you grab my album?
I don't fucking want to.
You should. You should grab my album right there, sir. Please do. So, all right.
Yeah. So let's give a little bit of. So Paul was taking his notes when I walked in, and he brought up. He was doing his Discogs value,
yes.
And so I already know what the value of this album is. That because Paul had to show it to me, so
because I didn't think he would believe
he didn't want me to think he was fucking with me.
Yes,
which
I was not.
So Paul, tell me about your copy of this album.
So first let me tell you this: that the copy that I have is not the copy that I thought I had. What I thought I had was a 2017 U.S. pressing on black vinyl. Which this is a 2017 pressing. It's a 2 LP. This is a 45 RPM reissued and remastered black vinyl. Feels like 180 gram, but it's a European pressing. So I'm pretty sure it's 180 grams. So but it's a European pressing. It's not a US pressing. So what happened at that time was August and Everything After was reissued as well. And I was ordering that for myself from the distributor. And this being my the album I liked, it either wasn't out yet or was on back order. But
sorry, reading the liner notes. So at work, when people leave, they always put an apron out and you sign things.
Okay.
I like to sign them like how you would sign somebody's yearbook. And the last fucking line of the liner notes is, "It was great having you in chemistry class. Have a great summer. See you next year."
That's pretty good.
That's fucking funny. Continue. I'm sorry.
So either the US pressing hadn't been released yet and hadn't been announced yet, or it was on back order, but the European pressing was available. So I ordered this for myself. So the same day that that I got August and Everything After, I got this as well because they were better because they were both available at that time. So unbeknownst to me, I made a very, very fine decision there.
Yeah, I'll fucking say so.
So what's kind of crazy is there are green vinyl copies of I forget what year. I think they were released in 2018 reissues that are actually, from what I could tell, are worth more than this.
Oh wow, I would assume so. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why at first I'm like, I don't think I have a green copy, which I didn't. I knew I had a black vinyl copy, but at any rate, my very good plus value on this album. And the new reigning champion of most expensive album on the Country Hipster Podcast.
Before you continue, let me just do this preemptively. Let me just stand up and take this off.
No. Listen.
Just put that over there.
No. It's like the Stanley Cup. Unless you win it, you can't touch it.
Just hold
you know
that,
what I mean?
Because
no.
I'm sure that's what's gonna happen.
You don't know that.
I can almost fucking guarantee it.
I don't know if you can guarantee it. I'm not gonna listen. My guarantee was that I was like, my guarantee to win the Big D was I was putting Buffy the Vampire Slayer on here. I did not look this up. This is a pure at heart fucking pick here.
Paul, let's not leave the listeners and the viewers hanging. How much is now what is currently the most expensive album we've covered worth?
Very good plus value on this is $288.89.
Jesus Christ. Bringing us to
$289. So $289 is apparently the very good plus resale value of this album, which when I looked on the listing, there are copies of this available, and I think they start around $200.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot of these. It's called supply and demand. So I'm very happy that I picked up the European version. And listen, we don't know. Just because I have over a $300 lead on the running total of $681 of my running total. You have a running total of $368. I didn't think you had a fucking steel train in there, and you did. Sure. But I mean, it was fun. But whatever, it wasn't fun.
Lightning has struck a couple times this season.
Yes.
So.
And the listener's running total is at $163, and Tom's running total is at $57. So anything can happen. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to know about it. It's like I said, it's like the Stanley Cup. You can't.
I wouldn't want to touch it because you probably get glitter.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah. You can't touch the Stanley Cup unless you've won it, or you know what I mean, or you're retired and you're like, you're not going to. Well, I haven't retired, so so I don't want it. Don't put that D on me yet. Yeah. I don't want to get touched with your dirty D. So
I've had a few people say that to me.
Yes, I'm sure it happens to you quite often. So all right. So Adam, since you weren't here last week and you couldn't pick from the box of Mike, I will let you pick this week's envelope.
It's crazy. Paul and I were talking about this, about how we're nowhere near dwindled down to the end of the season, but we're getting down there.
We're very much like flying through our album.
Yeah, so, like it's that's what it seems like, because like Tom's only at 57.
Tom's only at 1. And the listeners only have 3, so it'll be very interesting to see. 9, yes.
No, I was like, why did you write 9? Because you could have just done the
whatever. I don't understand the lines.
So. All right, so we have envelope 9.
Mm-hmm. He's going to open it up in the stupidest way ever. There it is. What color's the card?
Oh, it's a white card.
Oh, is it?
So that could be either of us.
Oh, that's suspect.
Oh, it's actually me.
Oh, it is you.
Have you always been writing who's picking us?
Yeah.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah, there you go.
So we are covering. We got one of my albums. We have Ramones Mania.
Nice, nice.
I'm excited about that because I fucking love me some Ramones.
I love me some Ramones too. So here's the funny thing about this. This is your copy from your collection.
Yeah,
I have this as well.
Do you really?
In my collection. Yeah. I actually have this in my collection as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I did, like, when I saw that was in there, I was like, oh, I have that album too.
I would be interested, almost like how we did on the first episode.
Yeah, with the
comparing whose is worth more.
Yeah, we could do that. We could take a look at that when we get in. I know we have a special guest lined up for this one. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in. Someone who's never been on the podcast before, so that's very exciting.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't remember our lists or the viewers' lists or Tom's list. We had Barry Manilow's greatest hits on. We had Barry Manilow and we had Sam Cooke's greatest hits.
Those were both great. Yeah, those were both great
on season 1. Yes, this is the only greatest hits we have on season 2.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So yeah, it's a 2-disc record. I'm excited about this. Yeah, it's a lot of Ramones.
Ramones is fun.
They are very fun. They are very fun. They're definitely up there for like all-time favorite bands, one of those bands who I can always listen to, and just a lot of fun. And we'll get into that in next week's episode. So I am excited. Adam, do you have anything else to say about Counting Crows, Recovering the Satellites? By the way, when we're done this, I'm going to make you listen to it 5 more times before you leave until you absolutely love this album.
Same thing as I always say, listen to it and form your own opinions, but I'm going to put a little caveat on this one, whereas listen to it, and if you don't like it, listen to it again.
There you go.
Because it's definitely become a Fungus album for me. So if you don't like it right away, maybe it's a Fungus album for you as well. So listen to it, form your own opinions, guys.
Nice. And I love this album, and I love being so far ahead in the Big D. Yeah, very excited about that. So
fucking Counting Crows.
There you go. Fuck John Antonoff. We have the Counting Crows. Jack, okay. Whatever. It was originally probably John, and now it goes by Jack. Yeah. So all right, on that note, it is time to